Welcome to Nurse Burnout Solutions, the show that empowers you to beat stress, reclaim your energy, and discover lasting fulfillment in your nursing career. I'm your host, Betty McLean. I'm a nurse with over 20 years of experience, and I'm also a certified life and certified burnout coach. I'm here to share expert insights with you, a lot of practical tools, and some inspiring stories. So join me as we navigate the challenges of a career in healthcare, and I help you find renewed purpose and resiliency, one episode at a time. Hi, welcome back to the podcast. Today we're going to talk about a summer reset. If you follow the podcast closely, you probably noticed that there was not a new podcast the last couple weeks, and there's a reason for that. My life has been really busy, and I haven't stopped and taken the time to record this podcast for you. And as I was thinking about sitting down and recording it, I was thinking a lot about momentum and overwhelm. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you are like me, you are looking at the last half, the the first half of the year, and you are looking at all the things that you accomplished. I've accomplished a lot in the first half of the year. We've moved into a new home. I've done a lot of work spiritually and a lot of work mentally on my mindset and supporting my emotions and becoming more resilient. Lots of work. It's been really good. A lot of work in my relationships. It's been a busy first half of the year, right? And now I'm looking at, if you're listening to this when it's coming out, we're right in the middle of the year, 2025, and there's a lot yet to do. And now we're in the summer, and for me, I don't have kids. If you have kids, there's even another layer of expectation and chaos, for lack of a better word. But for me, summer always comes with a lot of expectations. I want to go camping. I want to, be outside in the sun. I want to go paddleboarding, but I still have all my normal responsibilities, plus some extra. I've got all my normal work shifts. Sometimes summer can feel overwhelming and dysregulated in a way that the second half or school year, for those who that resonates with, the summer months can feel a little bit more chaotic. I think there's a couple things happening there, but we're gonna talk about that. The first thing we're gonna talk about in regards to how the summer feels different energetically, different from an expectations, etc., is our thoughts. So let's talk about our thoughts. Our thoughts shape our reality. I know that's a big statement, but it's true. How you think about your to-do list, your vacations that you're taking or not taking, how you think about your energy levels. It all affects your reality. So, if it's summer, your kids are out of school, you still have your full-time work, you want to do these summer activities that are important to you and your family, but you feel like you don't have enough time. And your internal dialogue is, I don't have enough time for this. I'm exhausted. The kids are going to be so disappointed, or anything of that along those lines, right? Those, for lack of a better word, those pessimistic thoughts. If that is your typical internal dialogue, your brain is telling your body to be disappointed, to be unenergetic, to be unmotivated. Now, if you have done any thought management work and you are aware of what's going on in your brain, you can learn to reprogram, not from a place of toxic positivity where you ignore and pretend that you don't think those pessimistic thoughts. That's not thought management. Thought management is noticing all of those negative, disempowering thoughts and saying, yeah, that's normal because I've trained my brain to think that. I've been taught that from an early age to believe those things. Rather than ignoring them, you bring it up, you notice them, and then you say, today I'm going to try thinking, I have enough energy for this. It's important to me, so I'm going to figure out how to make it work. Whatever your thing is that you're trying to figure out. Maybe it's not vacations and your kids, maybe it's your health. Maybe you really want this summer to be the summer that you start moving more regularly. You're exercising more regularly. You're taking care of your body in a meaningful way. If your thought is, I'm going to fail, that creates a lot of disappointment and like this heavy energy. If you just flip that and be like, okay, I see that, but instead, I'm going to practice, right? I know you think that, brain, but I'm going to practice thinking I can figure this out. I can make small changes, right? And just allow yourself to slowly step into a thought that is powerful and makes you feel. This is where thought management is really helpful. Finding those thoughts that make you feel powerful, curious, courageous, motivated, because motivated is a feeling. So, thought management and how your thoughts shape your energy is going to dictate the second half of your year. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is small actions compound over time. If you know me at all, you know I love James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. If you have not read it, if you have not listened to it, I give you full permission to stop the podcast now and go take care of that. In his book, he talks about how the very smallest thing, the atom, right, is so powerful. The 1% change that you make today will have ramifications much longer into your future versus making a big grand gesture, because our brains aren't designed to maintain big grand changes. Our brains are designed to handle small changes that build up over time. Again, if you haven't read the book, just go read it. If you've read it, go read it again. He talks about the science behind it and how to implement small changes. But again, for an example, if health is important to you and you want to start taking care of your physical body, maybe the step that you take in July isn't getting a gym membership and promising yourself that you're going to go, 5 days a week for an hour. Maybe what you do is you schedule with all the intent and energy that you can muster, you go for a 10-minute walk twice a week. And you put it on your calendar and you're like, this is my time. This 10 minutes, this 15 minutes, whatever, right, is like sacred. I am making this happen because my health is worth it, right? If you're already exercising a little bit here and there, what's that next 1% that you can commit to? Maybe it's buying a pair of, 10-pound weights and doing weights for 15 minutes every day. Whatever that little tiny little step is, commit to that for the next week, for the next month, for the second half of the year. I guarantee you those small, tiny habits that you with full intent and with full commitment implement into your life, they will have a huge effect over time. One thing that I've been committing to is doing meditation at night. I'm someone who doesn't have a problem sleeping generally, but I spend my time as I'm falling asleep just letting my mind go any which way. Sometimes I end up worrying, sometimes I end up remembering, sometimes I make up stories in my mind, but it's just I let my brain just do whatever it wants. And I thought, there's a better use for this 10 minutes, 15 minutes that I'm falling asleep. And so I've committed to 3 times a week, although sometimes in the last month or so, sometimes I've done it more than 3 times a week, but I'm committed to 3 times a week listening to a meditation. And falling asleep to that meditation. It's one little thing that I've done for my brain, for my emotional resilience, and it's having significant impact on how I'm waking up, how I'm handling stressors that are thrown at me. Again, it's just a small thing that I've implemented, but it's compounding. I'm seeing the effects of having a more orderly mind. So again, small actions compound over time. Please pick one little habit that you want to change and give it a try. The last thing I want to talk about is your nervous system. When we talk about our nervous system, there's the activated, dysregulated state where our fight or flight is on, where our brain is screaming at us that things are not okay. And then there is the regulated, not activated, deactivated. And what I want to offer you is if you are someone who has not, does not often experience a regulated nervous system where you are calm, your brain is relaxed but alert, you're going to have, you're going to view the world probably as a dangerous place and as a place of chaos. So, one of the best things you can do for yourself this summer is really take 5 minutes a couple of times a week to just sit and breathe and notice how your body's feeling. Are you feeling amped up? Are you feeling tired? Are you feeling like that wired but tired? You feel tired, but you can't rest. There are um, I was going to say a million. That's an exaggeration. There are a couple of very powerful things that you can do to start to regulate your nervous system. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is that as you look at the rest of your summer and the second half of your year, if you are not experiencing a regulated nervous system, your brain will be in a constant, because our brain and body are connected, your brain will be in a constant state of scanning for worry or scanning for danger, worrying, thinking that something's going to go wrong, right? And you can do a lot of really good work learning to slow your thoughts, reframe what's going on in your mind, not again, not from a toxic positivity place, but from a realistic way of handling those thoughts. That's what I do with my clients every week is help them look at those conglomerate of thoughts, right? And reframe them and put them into order. Doing that thought work allows the body to come into a state of regulation. You can also go from the ground up. You can learn to regulate your body so that your brain can slow down. And if you are not someone who knows how to do this, I would just encourage you take the summer to do a couple of tests of what is easiest for you. You can attend a yoga class. Yoga and things like Qigong are all about feeling the body, putting your body into a position of calm and breath and breathing and all of those things to really get in touch with and slow the body down, which will help your mind then slow down. The other thing you can do is take a breath work class. So if you are in, well, actually, I know people who do virtual breath work classes. I know people who are local to the Tri-Cities who do breathwork classes. There are a ton of really wonderful, beautiful yoga studios. Those are just two examples. You can also just go lay in your grass in your backyard and put your hand on your chest and on your belly and just feel your body breathing and just really notice how it feels to lay in the grass, to let the sun be on you, and notice your breath in and out. That is giving your body a chance to regulate, right? So, if you want help with learning how to regulate your nervous system, I have resources for that. If you know that you are more of a top-down person, you cannot get your thoughts to slow down. You are someone who has a really negative internal critic or a pessimistic way of thinking. You were maybe taught that from a young age, and it's something you've practiced. That is, I've helped several clients go from feeling like the most pessimistic person they know to having a positive outlook on life. I literally have a client who that was her whole point in working with me was she felt like the most negative person she knew, and she was tired of it. And by the time we were done working together, she was had a positive outlook on life. And she's like, yeah, I feel like I'm a positive person. And that's pretty amazing. So, either way, I would love for you to take some time this summer to really think about how can you get in a more regulated state where your brain is not on high alert, your body is calm and centered. Because if you can start to practice becoming regulated, the whole world opens up in a way that is exciting, really. Because yes, things are still challenging. Yes, things are still scary. And yes, there are still stressors. But when your body is regulated and your mind is calm, you can handle those stressors and those challenges in such a beautiful way. I am experiencing that this summer, and you can experience that too. So please reach out if you have questions. I'm here for you, and I can offer resources. I can talk to you about coaching, whatever you need for your summer reset. I'm here for it. So let's, with all gentleness and compassion, have a little bit of a summer reset and go into the second half of 2025 with a lot of self-love, a lot of self-compassion, and learning to create for ourselves a regulated state, a mind that is calm and focused, and the ability to build habits slowly over time that lead to amazing changes in our lives. I will talk to you later, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Thanks for listening today to Nurse Burnout Solutions. Remember, I really believe that all stress is manageable and burnout is not inevitable. If you are struggling with stress or in burnout, I can help. Check out the show notes for ways that we can connect and get you the support that you deserve.